Hey, everybody, I have some great news about the Punta fire that we broke to you here earlier today with Victor from Blackfin Sportfishing. I just spoke with Victor. He's down there in Punta and he said that that fire is about 90% controlled. He said that it doesn't appear to be a threat anymore, so that is great news. They have that Punta fire that was visible from Blackfin Sportfishing under control, and everybody can rest assured that more good fishing is in their future.
Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. Can you believe that sunrise here this morning? It's gorgeous, and we have got a lot to talk about. Of course, first of all, we want to remind you all to keep in your hearts and prayers the firefighters, the first responders, and all the people who've been affected by these terrible firestorms here in Southern California. That is still going on right now, and we have to keep all of those people in our hearts, in our thoughts, and in our prayers for sure. On the morning briefing, we've got a lot to talk about. Tremendous fishing going on the long range scene. Absolutely outstanding for wahoo and yellowfin tuna. That bite has been spectacular here recently, and it is continuing. We've got some great stuff starting to take place now here in Southern California. We've got some good nighttime bass fishing going on. Halibut derbies are starting to kick into gear. And also Catalina Island getting looked at on a regular basis by the El Patron. We'll go south the border, check out Mexico, and so much more. I'm going to get set up right now on this absolutely gorgeous and beautiful Southern California sunrise. Good morning, my friends. Back in a moment with the morning briefing.
Before we get started on today's morning briefing, don't forget, if you're headed to Ensenada, you're going to want to give Zeke Casas a call. Only 15 minutes from downtown, but just check out that spectacular view while in Ensenada, Baja California Norte. And if that garage door is giving you a problem, then you're going to want to call your garage door man. That's Joe Welker. Tax problems? Nobody better than our friend Tim Marquez. Tim's been doing taxes for 35 years. Give the tax man a call today. And for your heating and or air conditioning needs, you're going to want to talk to our dear friend John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning.
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California on an absolutely gorgeous morning. It is beautiful. So much to talk about in sport fishing, so let's get into it. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, is that good? Nice, warm, delicious cup of coffee here on this lovely Saturday morning. It is so great to be with you all. Some pretty big surf starting to roll in here this morning, actually, and an absolutely stunningly beautiful, gorgeous sunrise here this morning on Saturday morning. I hope you are doing well. So many people are suffering here in Southern California due to the fires that are overwhelming all of our services and our firefighters. In fact, Mexico has sent some firefighters up to help in the effort. We deeply appreciate the help of our brothers and sisters from south of the border here right now. To drive all this home, I was talking to John Garma yesterday. Now, many of you know John. If you fished on our charters, he's a regular on our trips. John likes to fish the surf here. He's a really dedicated, awesome angler and even a better person. And to drive home the tragedies that are going on right now, John told me he's up there in Altadena, Pasadena area. He told me he knows at least 20 families, who've lost everything. He's talking about houses that have been in ownership in those families for well over 40 years. Houses that he grew up in, that he used to go over to as a young man, even a young boy, and hang out in, and they're gone. Everything is gone. So we'll keep all of those people in our thoughts and prayers. That is for sure. If you don't mind, hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. Also, if you would subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel, that also would be deeply appreciated. Tick that little bell. Yeah, tick it. And you'll be notified when there is new content. And also remember to share these videos with a friend. You can catch us on TikTok, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on Instagram, and on Facebook. We appreciate the millions of views you give us every single month. Really, really appreciate that. All right, let's get into it with you all. And there is some really good long-range fishing going on right now. I mean, it is great. 16-day boys are down there in the 900, 1,000 mile south of the border region where they are putting the wood to the wahoo and the yellowfin tuna. It has been absolutely phenomenal fishing, no question about it. The Independents, we told you they would be arriving down to the zone, and they are there, and they are all over the wahoo. They've had excellent fishing on yellowfin tuna in the 80 to 150 pound class. It takes about 3 days for those guys to get down to that area. So you're straight running for 3 days. Believe me, you're busy most of the time getting your gear ready, attending tackle seminars, really just kind of anticipating what is to come. And of course, the meals on all the long range boats are oh so good. Independence, their 3-day venture down the Baja Peninsula, paying off already with some really excellent fishing. On board the Royal Polaris, more great fishing going on for them. The weather's up a little bit right now. In fact, it's up quite a bit. They ended up with 23 yellowfin tuna yesterday, down from their normal scores the last few days, and principally because that weather is up. But they still had some great fishing on 120 to 180 pound yellowfin tuna, with the big one weighing in at 226 pounds. Royal Polaris has been all over the fish, and they continue to do great on these long trips, these 16-day trips. XL is down in that area also, and the XL experiencing similar kind of fishing with great yellowfin tuna biting for them right now. They've had some wahoo also on board there, and they've had some bigger fish also taken on board the XL, as you can see. I mean, these fish are so impressive that I had to show them all to you here today. Absolutely phenomenal long-range fishing. And let us not forget one more boat we'll just throw in there, the Red Rooster 3, with great fishing also on yellowfin and wahoo. I mean, these wahoo are so fast when you hook them. You'll hook one in the stern, and all of a sudden you better put your track shoes on and run to the bow. They just scream off the reel. They are so much fun, and big yellowfin tuna. In fact, on the Red Rooster 3, their two biggest fish yesterday, 243 and 222 pounds. That is some awfully good fishing. So long range fishing, really good. Let's stay south of the border, but we'll get on the Mexican mainland right now. Down in Cabo San Lucas, we continue to see some of those big yellowfin tuna being taken down there. A little smattering of Dorado and wahoo also mixed in, but the yellowfin seem to be the staple right now. There's also an occasional striped marlin or two in that area. Up there in La Paz, we continue to see a little bit of Dorado, kind of unseasonable for Dorado. It's winter time. We normally don't see that out of Tail Hunter International, but there's been some recent catches of Dorado, and that is kind of exciting for that area. Great yellowtail fishing in Bulaje and Loreto in southern Baja California. And as we get a little bit closer to home, San Quintin, now that's 140 miles down below the border. Only 140 miles. Drive down there. It's a beautiful drive. And you get to San Quintin, and there's been some outstanding yellowtail action on the yo-yo iron fishing, the smaller, heavier jigs that you sink deep and wind on fast. That has been super effective here recently, and plenty of rockfish. And for our friends in Ensenada, not only are they getting entertained with some really crazy whale shows, it's gray whale migration right now in Southern California, and northern Baja. But they are having phenomenal rock fishing down in Ensenada. Really good rock fishing with lings and reds and so much more. It's been really great fishing for all of that and more. And there is some big bonito running around there. Some guys will occasionally get in and along the coast and fish for some sand and calico bass, occasional halibut in there. And it's not out of the question to see some yellowtail show up and bite either surface irons or yo-yo irons down there in that area on an absolutely beautiful morning here in SoCal. This sunrise is so gorgeous, and this ocean is too. Really, really beautiful. So good stuff going on down there south of the border. Continuing on the Mexico kind of theme, you know, rockfish season here in Southern California is closed until April. So if you want to catch rockfish, you're either going to have to drive into Mexico, as I just outlined for you, or you can jump on a San Diego-based boat who has plans to go into Mexican waters and fish rockfish, and it's legal. Several San Diego boats are doing it, and they're doing quite well. Other guys in San Diego and along the Southern California coast have been fishing sculpin and whitefish and doing pretty well on that. Picking at the bass, not terrible on the bass. In fact, it can be pretty darn good down there on the Dolphin, out of Fisherman's Landing, coming up to Dana Wharf Sport Fishing and Oceanside, and here in Long Beach and San Pedro. In fact, the Native Sun out of 22nd Street Landing is starting their annual bass and halibut derby. And in the past years, it's been phenomenal. They have all kinds of great prizes. The Native Sun has gone through all kinds of renovations, have a new sonar on there, in addition to a lot of other hard work. So they're getting rolling. I think they're running Twilight tonight, and I think Nick Ramirez, Nick, are you watching? Drop a comment down below. I think Nick is going to be on that trip. Lifelong Friedman Adventures fan, Patreon member. We love Nick. He's a great guy. So once again, we are seeing a little bit of a pick at that stuff up and down the Southern California coast for our 1/2 and 3/4 day boats. Over at Catalina Island, the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing continues to do quite well out there. We've seen them coming up with an occasional bass, occasional halibut. White sea bass definitely not out of the question right now with all the market squid that's been present here in Southern California. You got to think that is a distinct possibility. So we'll continue to watch that for you very closely. They've got tons of blue perch over there and good whitefish, and the El Patron is headed over there every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And guess what? No fuel surcharge, special reduced price, limited load. Get on the El Patron by going to www.longbeachsportfishing.org. I know you're going to have a really good time if you do. Up in the Channel Islands, guys up there are trying to catch some halibut. Private boaters have had some success on that. There's a lot of halibut around town, and I think you're going to see some really good wintertime fishing and an exceptional spring here in a month or two. I think it's going to be outstanding. There's way too much feed in the water. All that squid is going to attract predators at some point in time. And if it doesn't happen here in the wintertime, I think you can look forward to that happening definitely here in the spring. All right, up there out of Marina Del Rey Sport Fishing, Earl, the Pearl, McVicker out Twilight fishing with John Flood. Check out those bass. Nice fishing on the Twilight. Of course, that's going to be structure fishing. You're going to fish heavy line, leadhead and squid in most cases, 40-pound. And when you get a bite, you better pull hard, because those bass know exactly how to run you back into a crevice or saw you off on a rock or jump back in that hole they came out of to eat your bait. So some pretty good Twilight fishing up there out of Marina Del Rey. Hopefully that is going to continue on a beautiful morning. A little bit chilly here this morning, but it is absolutely gorgeous. In the Southern California surf, man, come on. Take a look at that. It's beautiful this morning. Perfect for throwing a bait or throwing a lure here and trying to catch some bar perch, some halibut. You know, all those are within the realm of possibility here in this Southern California surf. This is beautiful, perfect conditions for that right now. You throw a lucky craft You can throw a chrome crocodile. Might even pick off a yellowfin croaker or two here in the SoCal surf. But cooler water is going to bring out barred perch. Barred perch love this colder water. And we're seeing those from down below the border, down there around Rosarito Beach and further down around San Quintin, Socorro, Playa Socorro's been really, really good. Those areas also producing, but up here, right here, down here on Anderson Street and Pacific Coast Highway, there's a big tower. Walk straight out from there. There's been some pretty good fishing here. Down around Long Beach, we continue to see some halibut taken down there, a few legal fish. So once again, it's been pretty good. And I've got to send you down to Big Fish Bait and Tackle. Back there, Big Fish Bait and Tackle giving away a brand new custom surf fishing rod every single month. They give that away so you can take advantage of that. All you got to do is go in there and buy the rod, buy the ruler that they have for you, and you'll measure your catch here in the sand, upload your photo to the Instagram page of Big Fish Bait and Tackle, and then you could win. The species of fish changes every single month. You'll get all that information at Big Fish Bait and Tackle, and they've got the bait that is really important in the wintertime. Catch a lot more fish on bait in the winter time. They've got ghost shrimp and worms and so much more. So take advantage of that. Big Fish Bait and Tackle on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. Looks like a gorgeous morning, doesn't it, to be out here surf fishing. All right, my friends, as always, it is such a pleasure to be with you all. I deeply appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to spend here with yours truly. It means the world. If you could hit that like button, it'd be deeply appreciated. If there's any breaking news here today, and who knows, I mean, with all this great long range fishing going on and guys are getting out, we'll be definitely breaking that to you. And once again, hearts, thoughts, prayers going out to all of you who are suffering here in Southern California. And thank God for our first responders. They lay their life on the line, not only today, not only during this current tragedy and these horrible fires, but every single day. They are there to do that, and we deeply, deeply appreciate your service. God bless you all. Take care, and I hope to see you really, really soon.